about like how many of these have gone out in that time? I see these all over the place. This is, frankly, that's pretty ridiculous, honestly. Old Stabby's back. That means it's time for an unboxing. We've got 3 guitars from a very, very popular budget brand that I have never tried before to unbox here. So, let's do it. Alright guys, hope you're doing great out there today. If this is your first time here at my channel, my name is Kyle, and what I do is I take all sorts of awesome high gain related guitar equipment and really dull knives. I record them with an SM57 setup and I give you the unprocessed audio on your end. And over the last weekend, I just got a strange urge to try a brand that I've had my eye on for a really long time. But for the longest time, the only way you could get them is by ordering them and shipping them internationally. And for some reason, that has just always been a deterrent for me from trying this brand. But recently, they opened up a USA store over on Reverb.com, and they've been slowly getting their models listed in that store. And at first, they didn't have any that I really wanted to try out for myself. But finally, I took another look this last weekend, and guess what? 3 of the models that I really wanted to try popped up, so I purchased them for the purposes of making content for each individual guitars, but I figured why not unbox them here with you guys in the channel. On the channel, around the channel, for the channel. So you can see the box sitting behind me in the background. I don't really think it's gonna be much of a mystery of what brand it is. It's Harley Benton. Now, I see these guitars everywhere on the internet. It seems like every person that is in any sort of budget-oriented or budget-minded guitar group on the internet has at least one of these things kicking around. Most people rave about the quality overall. I have seen some like goofy quality control issues in the recent past, but for the most part, they have a pretty solid track record as far as bang for the buck when it comes to guitars. So even though none of my videos on gear are biased, whether they're sponsored or not, if it makes you feel any better, I used my own money to purchase these guitars, and what I would like to do, I'm gonna try all 3 of them. The one that I like the most, I think I'm gonna keep it, and we'll do like a solid upgrade video on it and see how good of a guitar we can make it without spending too much money. And then the other 2, I think I would like to give away in some fashion. So we'll brainstorm ideas on how to do that. But since I purchased these guitars with my own money, I just ask that you guys click my affiliate links down below in the description. Consider joining my Patreon, because all the money that goes into that Patreon account goes back into content like this for you guys and makes things like giveaways and stuff like that possible. And last but not least, we're gonna be jamming through some of my Neural Quad Cortex captures today. Consider purchasing a Neural capture pack. I have Neural Quad Cortex capture packs. I have Kemper profile packs. So I will list below in the description of this video what I have available and how you guys can get a hold of me in order to purchase those. But without further ado, let's get into the unboxing. I will say that all 3 guitars arrived on my doorstep upside down. So fingers crossed, hoping that they're all in one piece still. And the bottom of the box has a pretty bold claim. It says solid guitar. I will be the judge of that. If any of you guys have experience with Harley Benton, make sure to drop it down below in the comments, because I'm really curious to see what the overall consensus is of this brand from the people who watch my channel, because I actually haven't seen a lot of people request that I check these out. A lot of people want me to check out the Harley Benton cabs, but the shipping on those has become no longer cheap like it used to be, so I've kind of been holding off on those as well. But yeah, I'm kind of curious to see what you guys think of Harley Benton guitars before I actually dig in and try them for myself. All right, so guitar number 1, literally flopping all around in the box, so that's a terrible sign to start. The hell out of here. This was checked by Squiggly Line Googly Eyes. They give you a cable, and since we have 3 guitars to unbox, we're just gonna make this quick. I think all 3 of these guitars look awesome, by the way, so I was really happy to finally see them in the US store in stock for me to be able to try. This one doesn't appear to have any damage as of yet. Boom. And there's guitar number 1. This looks like their, you know, kind of active Jazz Master clone. Interestingly enough, this thing looks like it's been played quite a bit. because there's all sorts of pick scratching on the plastic on the pick guard. Not sure if that's normal or not. Let me know down below in the comments of this video. But yeah, as you can see, like it's got all sorts of like playwear scratching on the pick guard plastic already. So that's interesting. I've never seen this before in any of the other reviews, but these pickups are now branded as HBZ custom wound. So I don't recall seeing that before. Out of the box, the action looks to be fairly on the high side. Neck is mostly straight though. It doesn't really need too much of an adjustment. I'm already seeing a pretty big jagged fret. Looks like the 5th fret sticking up quite a bit, so don't have high hopes. We're almost in tune. These strings almost kind of look old too. Like, I'm kind of curious if this was a customer return at some point, because it does not look like it is a brand new guitar. Tiny little chip in the finish. Not super impressed with the fact that it looks like I got a return when I bought a brand new guitar, but we'll check out guitar number 2 now. As you can see, also upside down. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, like, the tape on the first one was already cut, and the tape on this one is already cut, and moving around in the box, but not as bad as the last one. All right, so we have all the same stuff in the box here. I'm not gonna bother with that too much. All right, so as you can see, it is another one of the Harley Benton active models. If you can't tell, I'm kind of drawn to these things a little bit. This one as well has all sorts of smudge marks on it, but it does not look like it has the same kind of like goofy pick scratching playwear on the pick guard plastic. The back of the tuners are like all dirty. Kind of gross actually, and there's like fingerprints on it and stuff. It's kind of weird, man. I was kind of expecting, you know, I don't know. It just seems like the guitars are not handled with care if these came right from the factory. Even cheap guitars that I bought from other brands have still just kind of looked like brand new and like they've never been handled when I've put my hands on them for the first time. This one has a little kind of like surface scuff up top, if you guys can see that. It's definitely nothing major, but it just looks like the guitar's been handled before. So yeah, that's really interesting. All right, so that one's real out of tune, but no big surprise there. Neck on this one is decent as well. Frets look better on this particular guitar, so we've got higher hopes. This is actually the one that I was most excited about, because this is kind of like a Jim Root strap, and I think that that guitar looks sick, so, you know, this one might be a really cool upgrade candidate. But that is guitar number 2. We'll plug these in a second. I just want to get all 3 of them unboxed. All right, so third guitar, box is even bigger this time. Always cut toward yourself with minimal safety. That's how I do it. That's not how you should do it. Let's hope this third one is a little bit more impressive, because the first 2, not so impressive so far. Leave your Harley boxing unbenton. Leave your Harley Benton unboxing experiences down below in the comments, so I have something to reference. Maybe they checked them at, you know, the Reverb store when they came in or something. I'm not exactly sure how they do their thing. No big surprise. We've got another active guitar. This one seemed like it was at least a little bit more stable in the box, so we'll see what we get. You guys know I love me a good flying V, so this one was really one of the first ones that I wanted to check out when I saw them available. The other 2 were kind of just for funsies. All right, and for the third one, least amount of handling goofiness on it. Okay, this one looks good. The top, it's kind of goofy. It's goofier in the pictures than it is in person. In person, I don't mind it so much. Actually, man, yeah, this guitar is kind of looking the best out of all 3 right off the bat. So this one, neck appears to be good. The action is pretty high. Not seeing any goofy frets upon first look. So I'm kind of hoping we're almost in tune. This one seems pretty resonant too, unplugged. If that matters to you or not, I'm sure many people will have opinions about it. Seems in tune to me, right? Okay, so we've got all 3 guitars out of the box. I think it's time that we plug these things in. I am very, very curious as to how these will sound. We'll get them tuned up, and we are gonna be going through, again, like I said, my Neural Quad Cortex capture. This is a Rev E dual rectifier that I captured the other day. Capture turned out awesome. If you guys would like to pick this capture and a couple other captures up for free, if you're a Quad Cortex owner, go online to the Neural Cloud, follow me, username Thrash Damon. I have a few goodies on there for free, so check those out. If you like what you hear, consider helping to support me by purchasing one of my Quad Cortex capture packs. I have a few available and I will be making a few more here in the near future, but just wanted to throw you guys a little shameless self-promotion and give you a way to help the channel if you have been interested in it, while also getting yourself some cool tones at the same time. So we're running the Quad Cortex through the Blackstar Amped 1 power amp, which is probably my new favorite power amp. This thing sounds incredible. And we are going into my Marshall 1960 vintage with the stock Marshall vintage speakers, which are basically just a V30 with a little bit of a tweak, and we've got an SM57 on that. So here's what that's gonna sound like. Okay guys, so great start right off the bat. The battery in this guitar, f***ing dead. Dead as can possibly be. Like, I'm getting zero output going into my Quad Cortex, so that's great. Not a great start to this, honestly. Sorry Harley Bonton. We'll rob it from the other guitar, but man, that's really not a good look. If some kid who is not super well versed in guitars was buying this for the first time, you know, and unboxed their guitar and it didn't work out of the box, like, I wouldn't blame them for being extremely angry, especially because they may not know what to do in order to get it to work. Alright, so not bad. It's very, very chunky. Very, very bass heavy off the bat. I do have a gate on. I want to test and see if this thing still suffers from the ground issues that Glenn Fricker and Andrew Baina had when they got theirs. I would hope that they would be fixed by this point. Alright, so it is a little noisy. Just as a test, let's grab a good working guitar and see the noise difference. Nope, they don't. So literally that happened months ago. Harley Benton launched these guitars months ago and they still haven't figured that grounding issue out. Like, how many of these have gone out in that time? I see these all over the place. This is, frankly, that's pretty ridiculous, honestly. All right, so the Dunable sounds and works fine. Let's go back to the V. Oh, haha, check that out. I'm just noticing this. This has all sorts of, see if we can get the light to catch it. This has all sorts of markings on the side of the V here, like it wasn't properly protected in shipping. I'm not impressed so far, guys. This is, I mean, we didn't pay a lot for these guitars, but still. You buy a new instrument, you expect it to be in new condition. Gate is back on the Quad Cortex and it's silent, but that feedback, that grounding issue will create additional feedback in your signal when you're playing. So I mean, that has to be fixed in order to use this thing. That's bad. All right, so where the cable is located is incredibly inconvenient. I've got my Happy Cable Company 1/4-inch cable here, and if you play the proper way with the V, that cable definitely gets in the way a little bit. All right, well, that's garbage, man. That is unacceptable, Harley Benton. Like, you were made aware of this issue a long time ago. There's no reason these guitars should be shipping like that. Let's try Jazzmaster style guitar. Let's turn that gate off again. All right, so the grounding issue on this one seems to be okay. So that's good. At least one of them is properly working. All right, right, so this one sounds good. It plays good. The strings on this thing are incredibly dead, though. I will say that. Like, this guitar has been played well before it got into my hands. Let's turn the gain down on my Rev E capture a little bit. All right, so not bad, a little dark, but the action on this one is actually really nice. So far, this guitar seems like it's gonna be a winner for me. I need to get some new strings on here, and that's about it. It feels pretty good out of the box, so yeah, this one might be a surprise dark horse. That literally didn't make any sense. Guitar good! All right, finally, let's move on to the last one, but I have to rob the battery out of this guitar because it was dead in that one, and I had to rob it out of the other one, so yeah. Alright guys, so this one is in tune. I will say the tuners on this guitar feel extremely lumpy. They do not feel good. The other ones felt fine on the other two, but this particular one, they feel pretty rough. Alright, so let's start off by turning that gate off real quick. See if we've got the grounding. Alright, so we don't seem to have the grounding issue on this one either. Although you can hear my voice through the paper. Only the V is suffering from the grounding issue. The other two guitars seem fine. I literally can't wait to give these a proper setup with my string gauge, get some steel strings on here because that's what I like to play. That should brighten these up a little bit. They seem to be on the darker side, but these two, like the Jazzmaster and this Strat style one, both have pretty good action out of the box, man. I have higher hopes for these than I initially planned, so yeah. You guys hear that? It's got some of that sympathetic resonance past the strings here. Even the gate can't catch it all the way, so we're gonna have to put some sort of fret wrap over the top when we play this thing. But the action on this is nice. It's falling out of tune pretty quickly, but it probably needs new strings, new intonation. The strings on this one feel somewhat dead too. Not as bad as the Jazzmaster style, but here is a free Fireball 100 capture that I made. You guys can check that out. Angle Fireball 100, awesome high gain amplifier. Let's play one more riff and then we'll wrap up this unboxing mess. It's a mess in here. All right, so not only does this have bad sympathetic resonance above the nut, but it also is just badly intonated and will not tune whatsoever. Alright, so the guitars need a little bit of work. Hope that you guys enjoyed this unboxing, and I hope that your guys' unboxing experiences were a little bit better than mine, because I'm a little bit underwhelmed. But regardless, let me know, what do you guys think about these guitars? Do you want to see more Harley Benton content on the channel? I'll be doing individual videos of all three of these, and again, I'll try to figure out which one I really like the most and then give the others away at some point. Thanks so much for watching. I'm gonna get the hell out of here. Kyle here again. We'll see you next time. You know what this wall is missing? Another amp. There we go.